Good afternoon, my friends, and welcome back to the Watch Wendigo YouTube channel. Today, I've got a package from Blade HQ. Sorry, I did open it. I had to make sure which package this was. Yes, I have multiple in the mail at one time. Don't judge me. Some of you are like that too. Anyways, in this box is one budget knife that I'm really excited to give a review on. It's a shape that caught my interest and a company that I've heard good things about but don't really have any experience with. The other two knives in this box, I didn't actually necessarily pick them up for review content on its own, as the version that I picked up, the two versions that I picked up, I'm fairly certain they're discontinued and they're probably not going to be available again. You can get the base version of the two knives that are in here, but I picked these up because I have a project in mind later on that I want to take you guys with me on that I think is going to be really cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and open this up and see what's in here. And we're going to start with this guy, because this guy was bought on its own for what it is, because I found it interesting. Let's see, how do we open this? There we go, that's what we got. Nothing special, just 1428. 14C 28N, sorry, just got off work, brain's not working. But when I saw the pictures of this, it definitely looked like something that I would be into. Of course, they send you a knife and something that you need a knife to open. Give me just a second. This is the budget version of the Damn Designs Wendigo. I'm somewhat partial to the budget version simply because I've reprofiled it, put my own edge on it, and God, this thing is wickedly sharp. On a slightly sad note, you might not be able to see it. Right there. I was sitting in my car on lunch today and made a little reel for the Instagram account, and when I was done, folded the knife, set it in my lap, finished my lunch, and then when I went to get out of the car, forgot it was in my lap, and sent it tumbling across the asphalt and got a very small nick in the edge right about there, right before that secondary tip. So a little bit annoying, but oh well, I'll be able to get it out. It's really not that bad. Anyways, let's get this open. It's a little bit smaller than I initially thought it was going to be, but not by much. I kind of figured it was a small knife. The centering seems pretty good. The texturing on that G10 is pretty nice. It's 14C 28N blade. I think I said that already. Button lock. I can already tell you I'm not the biggest fan of that clip. They already put it so close to the edge that to me it would have made sense to bump it up just a little higher and have it really truly be a deep carry clip. Right there, it's kind of like trying to be a deep carry clip, but isn't really. Thumb studs are a little sharp, but not too bad. Let's see if I can get in there to that opening hole. Ooh. Not a very satisfying sound on the deployment, but the detent was good. There we go. Yeah, okay. All right, I was about to complain about the handle, saying that this is just a little too small for my hands, and I don't really particularly have super large hands. I mean, I wear a size large glove, but that's really not very big. That blade does look pretty wicked though. Okay. I don't have a lot of experience with 14C28N, if we're just being honest. When I started my journey, the hot steel in the budget realm was D2. And I'm still, honestly, pretty partial to D2 over pretty much everything else in the budget realm. But I've heard really good things about 14C. And I've read a little bit about it and watched a little bit about it. And one of the things that I'm kind of excited for is to reprofile this and put my own edge on this. Because from what I've read, 14C takes a really wicked edge and will get incredibly sharp. Action's good. The D10's okay. I don't dislike it, but not the most satisfying thing in the world. Let's see. Oh, I see. It didn't feel very sharp. Hang on, let's grab a piece of paper. It didn't feel very sharp, but it passed through that really easily. So let's see. Yeah, it's pretty sharp. I think I can definitely... Yeah, see, it's not... It's catching and tearing a little bit. So I definitely think I can do a better job on that guy's edge. But overall, I really enjoy the way that looks. It's definitely different. And I kind of like things that are a little quirky. Okay, let's see what else is in that box over here. Well, of course I know what's in the box, but let's show you guys. So this is the Natrix Mini, to be specific, with copper scales. Of course. There we go. Oh wow, they weren't kidding. That really is a mini. So what that tells me, guys, is I need to pay more attention to the specifications area on Blade Binge, because I really had no idea that that was going to be that small. But that's okay. This is eventually going to end up being my girlfriend's knife. And like I said before, I didn't get these couple of knives here because I was necessarily in love with the design. I got them because they're materials that I like. I didn't hate the design. I thought it was pretty cool looking. I love copper. And I also am a fan of D2. I bought every single version of this. I bought the mini. I bought the standard size, which isn't here today. That's actually was already sold out of stock on Blade HQ, and I had to get it through DLT Trading. That one should be here on Friday. So from Blade HQ, I got the mini. That was actually a pretty satisfying deployment. Yeah, that feels good. I like that. So I got the mini, and then I also got there it is, the extra large. Those are what came in today. And I have the standard size on the way. Oh boy, howdy. Yeah, that guy's... Okay, see. This is you and the guy she told you not to be worried about. Wow, that has got some absolute heft to it. That thing is massive. Anyways, I picked these up because I am going to be doing a forced patina project on all 3 of them using a couple different methods. I've been doing a lot of research over the last few days on forced patinaing. Actually, I said the last few days, but to be more accurate, I have been doing research on that now for roughly a month. And I want to do a much more elaborate knife that comes in full copper. But I decided that I wanted to practice a little bit before I jumped into doing something more expensive. So let's get this guy deployed. Ooh, yeah. See, immediately, I tend to navigate towards larger knives and generally even heftier knives. Like this really appeals to me. Let's see how the action. Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh, you know what? I might have been on the lock bar. Hang on, let's try that again. Yeah. I'm sure that'll break in a little better. Wow, that, guys, that's a knife. Okay, let's cut with both of these. You know what, before we do that, how's the action on this one? Much better. So you know what, the extra large may need me to back off the pivot slightly. Maybe not. Maybe, we'll give it a chance to break in first. There I am, I'm doing it again though, I'm on that lock bar. So let's make sure we're not on it. Yeah, still pretty stiff. Okay, let's grab a new piece of paper. And let's see how these guys cut. Start with the big guy. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm not disappointed by that, especially for what I paid for it. This was, God, what was this? I believe this guy was about $65 or so on Blade HQ. And you got an absolute monster of a blade there. Again, D2. And Kershaw does okay with their D2. I mean, it's not phenomenal, but it's pretty good. They get close to where it should be. What was that? That was a wimpy deployment. That was better. I guess it was just me. Yeah, not bad. I like the way these cut a little bit better than the way this Kubey cuts. Yeah, see, that's... man, every once in a while this guy will pass through it and you don't even feel the tension and the tearing, and it's so... I don't know, it leads me to believe that maybe the edge isn't even, because at some points it feels like it slices really well and then I'll feel it catch and tear. There, it's tearing again. Anyway, I got this with the intention of throwing it in the TS Prof and seeing just how sharp I can get it. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. With the price of this guy, this is honestly really good. I believe I think I paid like $46 or so for this, so it was pretty cheap. I'm not unhappy, but I do think that edge could be a little sharper out of the box. You know, I'm cutting it some slack for being a cheaper knife, but at the end of the day, this is a cheaper knife, and it cuts better than that does. This is a cheaper, ginormous knife, and it cuts better than that does. So, anyways, that is going to be it for today, guys. This was literally just an unboxing, and like I said, you will eventually see a full review of this, and once I have all 3 of these, and the patina project is done, I will likely still do full reviews for these. But that's not the reason that these were purchased. The reason that these were purchased was to do a patina project. I'm not going to tell you what specifically I have in mind, but these were bought as practice for another purchase that is going to be a lot more expensive. It's going to be a whole build. The knife doesn't even come with copper on it. We're going to be swapping out the scales. Basically everything on it to be pretty much an entirely copper knife, you know, minus the hardware, of course. It's a knife that I should love, but the last time I had one, I was not, to be honest, I was greatly disappointed. And a lot of that was because of the way it felt. And I think adding copper to that specific knife and giving it a little heft is going to make it more desirable for me. A lot of people are going to say that I'm ruining it and defeating the entire purpose, and to them I say, I don't care. Here's a little hint for everybody. Knives shouldn't weigh 1 ounce, or just over an ounce. That's absurd. The feeling of heft and solidity is a real thing. Oh, I didn't choke up on that earlier. Well, that's not entirely safe. That actually does feel really good. But if you decide to do that, be aware that you are on the cutting edge. So do it at your own risk. Okay, I am excited for when the not the full size, the standard size comes in, so that I can have all 3 of these and we can get started on that project. I really think you guys are going to enjoy that, and I am looking forward to taking you on that journey with me. Anyways, that's going to be it for today, guys. Wendigo, signing out.